Hey, hey. Welcome to Heart of the Matter podcast. Okay, as y'all can see, I've been doing a little editing on the show.
Nice.
So we're a little bright, but it's no, is it? No, what was it? Women's International? I don't
This
know. I'm
this
making up
month,
stuff.
I
It
think
was
in
last week.
March.
It was in March. Okay, yeah. So that's what we doing. Nah. No, we just wanted to lighten up the show because we have an awesome topic as always.
Yep.
And we have our lovely co-host Melita who's here with us today as always as well. And we're just in for a good show, a good topic as always. So
Yes. That's what we
if
do.
you are on, we ask that you please like and share, as well as also invite somebody, and also subscribe to the YouTube channel. And as I said it before, we will be eventually just going straight YouTube and won't be utilizing like Facebook Live in the future. If you are on, please drop a hello and say hi to us so we know that you are here and in the building with us. I see Ash. Hey, Ash. Hey, girl. Hey. And as
Yeah.
always, if you're new to the channel, this Heart of the Matter podcast is a Christian based podcast. So what we do is we talk about a lot of issues, pretty much all over. It could be about fatherlessness, it could be about the mother's not in the home. It could be about blended families. Also, it could be most of the time we're talking about immorality issues, good and evil, right and wrong issues most of the time. And then we always try to provide a solution to those issues or matters. Ooh, or matters by giving you a biblical solution. And that's what we do. And a lot of times these issues and matters are close to your heart because most people don't want to talk about them. They're like unseen or unspoken truths or something like that, where people just don't say anything. They know it's like an elephant there, but you won't say anything about it. And that's what we're here to do. We're here to address the elephant in the room. So, and we have fun doing it. We have a great
Yes.
community. Don't we? Like, oh my goodness.
Yes,
It's
we
like
do.
it's building and growing and it's so fun. Hey Angelina. She said hey as well. So yeah. Did you have something to say, Melita, before we pop into the topic?
No, I just wanted to say hi to everyone. It's just good to be here. Like you said, we have a great support system. Yeah.
I'm gonna let me grab something really quick. I gotta grab my paper or something. And then we'll wait just a few moments, okay? 1 second. Okay, we're back. We're back. Okay, sorry about that delay. All right, so if you're on, where's our guest at? No, but I see Angelina and Ash. I didn't see anybody else say anything to us, but nevertheless, we're going to jump right into the topic today. So just to introduce the topic, this is something I think we talked about last week, right? Towards the end of the live when we were talking about our, trans women becoming like the face of womanhood, or womanhood pretty much just under attack because the word woman is now becoming illegal to even use or say, and we're being addressed as cisgender. So things like that is what we talked about.
Yeah.
If you missed that, please go
Mm-hmm.
check it out. It was a very good live, interactive live. So which led us to like birth control, and of course women are the only ones who really take birth control that I know of. I don't know, are trans men taking birth control?
That's a good question.
Okay. Yeah, I don't know if they are or
Believe.
not, but you don't either? Yeah. I don't know, but, um, yeah. So, Hold on, wait 1 second. Okay, sorry, I was looking at something. Okay, so nevertheless, that's how the topic came about. We were talking about different issues, complications pretty much that women are having, and a lot of these complications are stemming from birth control. So if you don't know that, you'll definitely find out today that that's where they're coming from. So I am going to go ahead and just break the ice a little bit and play a video here, which when I watched it, it actually touched my heart or broke my heart. And I don't know, maybe my heart is just too easy to be broken. I don't know. But it just had me like, wow, yeah. But let me just play it for you. It's about a family who their daughter actually died from a birth control pill. So let me go ahead and bring that up now. Just 1 second here.
In this morning's Health Watch, birth control pills and blood clots. The hormones in oral contraceptives are what make them work, but over the years, side effects have become a big concern. Now, as Dr. Jennifer Ashton reports, one particular type of the pill may be linked to some new problems that can be deadly.
This is Michelle's ribbon wall. She showed horses for about 10 years.
Like any good mother, Joan Cummins loves to talk about her daughter, Michelle.
This is Velvet, Michelle's horse.
Last August, Michelle left her New Jersey home for college in North Carolina.
My baby, I kind of thought, oh, it'll be all right, Would go to her room and it would be empty. And I thought, well, I'm going to see her again, And she never came home.
Just 1 month into Michelle's freshman year, Joan got a call that changed her life forever.
They called me from the hospital and told me that her heart was not responding and that it wasn't good. And that just, never want to hear that.
Michelle was walking to class when she collapsed in cardiac arrest. She died shortly after from a massive blood clot in her lung, something her mother thinks was caused by the birth control pill Yaz. She's now suing Bayer for wrongful death.
I'm saying it could have contributed to her death. A healthy young 18-year-old woman, who never had anything wrong, to be taken like that. Certainly that could have contributed.
Just this week, the FDA announced it's taking a look at newer birth control pills like Yaz and others that contain a different form of the hormone progestin.
There's always been concern that the new generation birth control, like Yaz, Yasmin, Yaz, maybe increases the risk of developing a blood clot slightly over the old generation.
Regardless of what the FDA finds, for Joan Cummins, the loss of her daughter and others.
Instead of her coming home, and, being part of life here again, she came home and I had to bury her. And it's horrible. I don't ever want to have, anybody I know go through this.
Bayer says the overall scientific evidence supports its current assessment that its birth control pills are just as safe as any others on the market.
All right, that's all. I just kind of want to put emphasis and kind of break the ice of why we're actually trying to shed light on this issue, and actually just discuss it, because you may not know it, but it's a big issue. Like I know I know when I was growing up and I came up like in the 80s, it was just like the thing to do, and I think it's still pretty much like that. I haven't taken it in some years now, and I don't really know much about how they're presenting it or people still using it. But from the research, it is suggesting that people are still using it just like they were using it back in the 80s. And it actually came about, I think they started around 60s or so doing birth control pills and things like that. And also, a lot of times this stuff comes about because of feminism, which we know, because the women, they, especially back in the day, they wanted to break free from like their husbands and having to get permission to, take this at the doctor, to do this, to get things done. And so they didn't want to do that. And they wanted to be in charge of their bodies, which we hear a lot about, my body, my choice. This has been going on for so long, and it hasn't stopped. It started back then, but it's still going on. And this is how birth control pills came about because of course they felt like, there was too many people having babies, and some women maybe didn't want to be at home having babies. They wanted careers. They wanted to get out in the field, and so because of that, they chose to opt into the birth control pill, not knowing the effects. And if you looked at the video, the woman's daughter was just starting college, took the birth control pill, and she ended up dead because it causes blood clots in your body. So a lot of times we don't recognize this because it's just, it's pushed to you like, okay, take it, it's going to give you this, that, you're not going to have acne anymore. You're not going to have this and that, but it's also causing so many side effects in the background. Um, and I don't know, Melita, did you have anything else to add to, this opening statement that I just gave?
Um, it's just the fact that it's just like the story is just pretty sad. It's kind of disheartening. And then how they
Yes.
spoke on like, oh, it's just a slight increase. But then when you think about that in numbers of and in terms of humans, and human lives at risk, even just one life is of great
Right.
significance. So that shows you how little an account that they're taking. They're thinking numbers, and so to them it's like, okay, well, it's only a few it's not as many
Right.
more people, but these are people's lives. These are people's daughters and nieces and things like that. So yeah, I think just raising that awareness, even when it comes to the workplace, a lot of the women wanted to it mentioned how the women wanted to they wanted to get into the workplace, so they wanted to have control over whether they were going to have children or not. And then also they wanted to have sex more without the risk
Right.
of, being,
Pregnancy.
pregnancy. So it just gave some more freedom into that. So
Exactly. It's all about freedom of choice, freedom of I want to do what I want to do. I want to have sex without the consequence of a child or, not the consequence. Let me not say it like that, but without bear I mean, I guess it was to them a consequence of having sex, which is not a consequence, but it's the result of, having sex. You procreate. That's what God created it for. But of course when you just want to live free, you want to enjoy the pleasure but not, keep I guess what God
the
created it for.
responsibility.
Yeah, the bounds, you actually, you'll do anything at that point. And I want to know, I mean, when I posted this, I said birth control, is it a gift or curse? So I don't know how many of you believe it's a gift, how many of you believe it's a curse, and why do you believe that? I'll reserve my answer, and Melita will reserve our answer. But I want to know: do you feel like birth control is actually a benefit to our society? Is it helping our society? Or has it been a curse to us? Has it been serious consequences from it? So I wanted to hear what you guys think. Tiana, Francine. Hey, Francine. Hey, Linda. Merely, what do you guys think about that? Um, and the movie that we actually watched, which we got through most of it, right? Was the business of birth control. So that was a documentary that I didn't even know was out, and you didn't know it was out either until we start researching it, right?
Right. No, I didn't
I,
know.
that was crazy. Yeah, and it was so good. It was it good to you?
Yeah, it was actually pretty nice.
Yeah, and
I mean, it was a lot of tears. I wasn't
I
expecting to
know.
cry. And
It
so,
was
it
so
just
many
made me cry.
stories.
Hmm.
I couldn't believe how many women were dying like that. Young women, like not even old. These
And then
women
their
were
parents found the strength, to start a movement or to raise awareness. So, they didn't just sit down and just say, okay, well, she dead and mourn, but they decided to, you know, uh, warn people about it because it was so abrupt and it was unexpected. It was like a silent killer.
right. Oh, definitely. Oh, could you imagine you sending your child off to college and then they just come back, like, hey, somebody called you and it's like, oh, they're no longer alive at 21, or You know what I'm saying? And then you find out on top of that, it's from this tiny little pill that's so small
that you thought was protecting them. You felt safe. A lot of parents are, give it to the children or allow the teenagers to have it because they feel like, well,
like it's
if
safe.
you're gonna have sex, at least it's safe. So now you possibly started your child on it, and
Yes.
and then it kills her.
Whew. I can only imagine. Listen, because I was the same way. Like with my daughter, I was like, well, I didn't push it on her, but I was like, well, if I mean, you got to get on do something. If you don't know how to, you know what I'm saying, protect yourself. You know that if you can't protect yourself, you need to get on something. Which now I just be like, listen, you shouldn't be doing it. You ain't married, do not do it, okay? Because the result is a child. That's just the way God made it. So and but I don't I'm glad that nothing serious happened, but a lot of times women are having blood clots and all kinds of mood swings and different things we're going to talk about more. I know Angelina sent me something. I wonder if this is it. I don't know if this is it or not. No, I don't think this is it. She sent me something about the different things that happen to women, or like side effects. And a lot of the side effects were the side effects that we discussed last week, like the PCOS, the polycystic ovary. I can never get that, but Malia, what is it again? You know,
I think it's polycystic ovarian cyst syndrome or something like that.
yeah, something to that effect. I'm about to bring it. Okay, hold on 1 second. Go. One moment, baby. Okay, hold on, y'all. I'm sorry.
So let me see.
I'm sorry, y'all. Oh, Melita, can you put the name of that movie in the comments for Francine? She's asking for the name.
Okay, yeah, I'll do that.
I know it's called The Business of Birth Control is what I think, but
Yeah.
what it's called. Um, okay, so this is what. Let me just share it. This is what Angelina sent me, which was good information. All right, so this is saying study shows how birth control pills affect women's psychological and biological responses to stress. So this is December 6th of 2023, so pretty recent. And it says UCLA Health Study, they're shedding light on how using hormonal contraceptive pills may affect a woman's response to stress and the risk for inflammation related illnesses. This is a study that was done on women. I know there was a part, I'm trying to jump down to the part where it was telling you the symptoms of it. When you get on here, it's like hard to read all this stuff again. Okay, but I wrote the symptoms down anyway. So symptoms are mental health issues. It's mood swings, it's depression, it's anxiety, it's brain fog, it's low bone density. These are like not all of them, but some of them. Also, the main diseases you get from birth control would be cancer. You get fibroids. 90% of Black women have fibroids. So that's that a lot. Most of it comes from birth control pills. So those are the main side effects that you get from using birth control. Now, if we want to understand birth control, what birth control does is it produces hormones, right? So if you're a woman, you understand or know that we have hormones already, and our hormone mainly is estrogen. However, the hormone, I mean, and we do progesterone and all those things as well, especially when you're pregnant, it's a lot of that hormone is produced more. But what it's doing is the birth control pill is suppressing your hormones. So your natural hormones that God gives you to actually operate and work in your body, the pill suppresses it because it suppresses it so that way you can actually suppress your ovulation. The only way to get pregnant is to have ovulation, which ovulation is releasing an egg, right? And then the sperm connects, you have a child. So that's the only way you can get pregnant, right? And so the pill suppresses the ovulation so you won't get pregnant because you have no ovulation. And then it also suppresses your hormones. Now, these are hormones that you need. These hormones need to be working in your body. And because they're suppressing it, they're not working. In return, all these other problems stem from this because these hormones are not properly working in your body now. And so
Exactly.
that's like the gist of how birth control works, right? And yeah. So if you're supposed to have a certain amount of, hormones and now you don't have them, you can understand why your body's like, oh no, just going haywire. And you're supposed to ovulate. And then ovulation, right? I know we think ovulation is just pregnancy. Did you see that in the movie too?
Yeah.
Like,
Yeah, I saw it.
I didn't really, well, I guess when you think of ovulation, you equate it to pregnancy. You
Yeah,
honestly do. But
you
it's
do.
so more than that. So they say it's not only controls when you can have a baby, but it controls your hormones. Like I said, estrogen, progesterone. It also includes benefits to your body. So the opposite of the low bone density, it helps your bone development. It also helps with mood swings. So these are things that it does well, you know what I'm saying? But if you're using the birth control pills, it's suppressing those things. I'm gonna
Yeah.
bring up this, y'all don't know we ain't in science class, but it's kind of gonna be a little bit of that. But yeah, I want to show this figure here. It says it's an article that says three surprising reasons why ovulation is so important whether you want a baby or not. So of course it says when we think about our menstrual cycle, it's generally the period that we tend to focus on.
You're muted.
Oh, how did I get muted? Okay. So let me go back to the document here. So this is just telling you three reasons why it's important to ovulate. And one is the hormones, which we talked about. And it says research finds that progesterone reduces inflammation. It protects against heart disease. It's important for building muscle. It helps to buffer the negative effects of our stress response. And then it says a 2020 study even found that it noticeably changes the shape of our brains throughout our cycle. Wow. Did you know? Did you know this, Melina? Did y'all know
No.
this? Like, if this ovulation is doing all this, right? It's reducing inflammation. It's protecting against heart disease, and now you suppress it. You suppress
Mm,
the hormone that's giving you this effect. What do you think is going to happen? Of course, the opposite, right?
right.
So now you're going to get, heart diseases or embolisms, or blood clots because
Less
now
sleep.
you're working against your natural body's response. The second thing is ovulation is associated with living longer. Now, this I thought was good. I'm like, living longer. So it says, let's see here. It's a 2020 noted from the British Medical Journal in 2020 noted that a history of regular natural ovulation is associated with living longer. There are a lot of different factors at play, but these long-term observations studies say, of course, this could be a correlation, but it is interesting. But they're saying pretty much it's saying that you're living longer. Um, we already know breastfeeding helps. It also says ovulation can help you track an irregular cycle. Did you see in that movie where they were actually tracking it on a pen and piece of paper?
No, I missed that part.
Girl, it's crazy. They had a pen and piece of paper tracking it. And it was a chart. It was a whole chart when they got done. I said, "Oh my goodness, like that's work." But now we don't have to do that. We actually have apps that can actually track that
Yes.
for you. So instead of you using actually birth control, you can actually use this ovulation chart. And that's going to actually help you keep track. I think I've seen merely say that. Let me go through a few comments. I know we're giving a lot of information here. Let's see here. Merely said, "Oh, it's a consequence." No, I didn't mean it like that. Angelina said, "I think it serves a purpose for sure, but drugs also have side effects. That's just reality." I don't. After watching that movie, sis, I don't think it actually serves a purpose other than population control. I know they said it helps you with acne, but to get all those side effects just not to have acne, like, no. Hey, Anthony. Angelina said, anytime hormones are messed with, there are dire consequences. This is very similar to issues with the meds they give when women give birth. Girl, let's not talk about that. Did you get the movie, Francine? I don't know if Francine got the name of the movie, The Business of Birth Control. That's the name.
Yeah, I have seen it.
You put it in there. It didn't come up. I'll put it. You got it.
Yeah.
Okay, merely said just use your ovulation chart. There's no need to put that stuff in your bodies. I know several women who just go by their ovulation time and they're just fine. No unwanted pregnancies. That's right though. Like it really works. It really works. It may be off a day or two, sometimes, but at most it's going to work because how else do we think they didn't get, they had kids Bible days. They wasn't aborting their kids then. So, but yeah, that's how they probably didn't have that many kids going on like later on, you know what I'm saying? So yeah. Angelina said the rhythm method is great when you can predict periods effectively. What is that, the charting?
The rhythm. I think
The rhythm method. I think that's what she's talking about. Charting it. I think that's what it is. It's called the rhythm method. I think that might be what it is. I know she works with science. Hey, Whitney. Whitney, how are you? What do you have to say about this topic? We're talking about birth control. Is it a gift or is it a curse? I don't know. Again, like I said, most ladies in my circle, we don't most of my friends don't take birth control. Like that's, and it could be me. I'll be 40 this year, so but I know a lot of women that have taken it even further, way after that, and have been taking it since they were teenagers. So no wonder a lot of women aren't able to have children either, because it will make you infertile over time, of just suppressing this. So yeah, it's this is something, guys. I'm gonna show you guys. I'm trying to see if I can get this other video off Amazon. It's hard. Can I log into my Amazon account, you think, and get it?
you should be able to if you can do share screen, just like you
Just like I share
did
screen.
a video.
Let's see. Cause I'm like, I want to show that. Let me see. Let me see if I can log in. Yeah, because I want y'all to see what this lady says about it. She talks about fibroids. That NuvaRing, they said that's causing deaths. Like it's a lot of deaths. Um, Yas is a
Yeah.
really bad one as well. I know they've had some lawsuits for, was it Yas or
Yeah, it was Yaz
NuvaRing?
and
Yas
NuvaRing.
and NuvaRing. Yeah, people have been suing them because their children are dying. So, I mean, I would definitely sue as well. Like my kid is no, but again, some parents. Did you see the family that was like, we don't even want the money. We just
Yeah.
want to
They
know.
they just
And
want them to put proper warnings on the labels. Now, me personally, I always knew, when I was presented with it that at younger, like a long time ago, they told me that uh it could cause blood clog, but they said if you smoke. And at the time, I was like, I wasn't ready to put down the nicotine, so I opted out. But had I not smoked,
you would have
I would
gotten
have,
it.
yeah, I would have gotten it. So, so I've never taken it, but so they still, it still wasn't a proper warning.
Right,
And
right. You still didn't have a proper, and that's what I'm saying. Most people, who's reading labels? Like most people aren't reading a label saying, oh, this side effect is going to happen to you if you use this. Most people, it's so many side effects on those labels. It's kind of hard to read that stuff because it's like it's so many of them. I have it's a TikTok I was watching. Let me see if I can share it with y'all. And she was like, "Fellas, be cool, okay? Because this is what we going through." Hold on one second. Let me share it. Okay, it was. It says so all the guys, these girls on birth control, saying give your woman a hug if she's on birth control because you see that long list she had of side effects. That paper is filled with side effects of what happens to you, what can happen, everything. So I don't in this case, I really don't feel like it outweighs the good. Because if you look at all that long paper she had of side effects that and who's gonna read that? It's so little, it's so small. Who's gonna just just sit there
No,
with a
right.
magnifying glass? Like,
They gonna
oh,
really listen to what the doctor says.
you said
And
they don't?
like they will, like they'll just hear what the doctor have to say.
Right.
They don't tell you oftentimes the side effects when speaking. They know that that's most of the information that they're gonna get. So they just
Right.
give it to you.
So that's good. You said that pretty much it's like you're more dependent on your doctor for your health than you are yourself. That's what you're saying.
Right.
And that's dangerous because your doctor is not going to tell you the truth. I mean, I'm not saying all doctors. Some doctors will. But your doctor, this is not my red account. Sorry. Your doctor isn't going to tell you something to stop their money. Let's just put it that way. Unless
Right.
you have one that just cares more about you than they do the money. But most doctors are, they get what is it called? Not what is it called when they get some type of break on it? They get Angelina, I know she knows what it is. I forgot the name of it, but they get a kickback or something when they sell certain things, right? If the pharmaceutical companies are trying to push medicine, if they're trying to push certain things, they'll actually get a kickback on it. So they'll get money for selling you a drug, even though it's gonna kill you, damage your heart, could cancer, e- whatever side effects, they'll still give it to you because they're looking at the money. Just like vaccinations, and they'll push all of them, even new ones, anything on you, and they don't even like care if the side effects pretty much because most people trust their doctors. Most people have relationships with them and we think that they have our best interests, at hand. Some do and some really don't. So I'm still trying to find that video. I want to show it. Hey Tony, glad you could join us. I want to know how did the fellas feel? Because the fellas have never taken any birth control, right? They've been toying with this birth control for men for years. But I don't think did they ever get it through? I think they did, didn't they? I think what
Anybody?
do you huh?
I was just wondering, is anybody
I,
even
no, I think they did. I think they came out with birth control for men recently. Like it's been real recently, but I don't think the men are taking it, of course. They just not like women like lining up for it. But they've been working on it, working on something for men to take for years, birth control. And it just never happened. Men are like, no, we're not taking that mess. We barely want to go to the doctor. But men,
they're
how
not
do you
avoiding,
you said what?
that level of I mean, at the end of the day, like the women are the one that's gonna end up pregnant. It's less severe really for them to take it to me.
Well, I think what it's gonna do is prevent them. I don't know if it's gonna prevent them from producing sperm or it's gonna take. I don't know exactly how it works, but it's some type of way they were gonna make it where it's a birth control for men. So that way it would prevent pregnancy as well. But most men are not
Right, but
gonna
I'm
take
saying
it.
they won't get pregnant. So, you know, it's still they won't get pregnant. So I feel like it's more women that's gonna that will get pregnant. So, I have to suffer the long term effects immediate. So then they're more like, oh now I need to take this, whether it's healthy or not. I'm just saying that it's more of an incentive for them to take birth control than it is for the man.
I guess, but you can't get pregnant without the man. You know what I'm saying? So it's like I don't know. To me, I don't know. But fellas, if your ladies on birth control, how do you feel about it? Do you notice any other like mood swings? Is she like moody all the time, stressed out, acting crazy? Now, this could be the reason why women snapping out because they for real. I thought about that. They clearly said that it messes with your moods and even your mind. Like you're almost like it changes kind of like the person you are. Like they even said in the movie that when some women got off the birth control, they didn't like the man that they were with anymore. I
Wow.
was like,
Yeah,
"What?"
I did see that.
Yes, they were like, we don't even like him anymore, and I because again somehow the attraction was there before, but it changed their mind in a way. So I think that that could be a reason why the women are lashing out and doing this crazy stuff too. Because it's messing with their mind. Angelina said the rhythm method predicts your ovulation based on your periods. Okay, so we thought that's what it was. It has to be regular 28-day cycle. Many women have issues regulating their hormones due to hormone disrupting chemicals in our food and other products. Women with endometriosis, heavy extensive periods, and otherwise sometimes use birth control as there aren't many other options, but we definitely need better options. Yes, that's it. Thank you, Angelina. That's what we were trying to make sure. And endometriosis, all these words, y'all know what I'm saying. Endometriosis.
Endometriosis.
That is that heavy bleeding, as she said. They do prescribe the pills, and I saw in that video a lot of I think a doctor said it doesn't really even do much. Like it it does really not enough for you to even really take it. Pretty much is what they said. But like you said, there's not a lot of options out there. But the main thing, I guess, is just getting your hormones under control. And how do we expect to do that if we're putting a hormone suppressant into our body? Like that, I don't think that's going to even work. Angelina said the patch is another one that is currently under investigation as well due to deaths. Yeah, I remember the patch because like in my 20s, I tried that patch because I was like, I wanted, I didn't want it. Them pills is hard for me to take. I don't know. Melita, you said you ain't take nothing.
Mm-mm.
Okay, so the pills is hard for me to take. I would take them, whatever, whatever. But you forget because you got to have like every day, and then you got to stop, when your period about to come or so. But I would forget to take them because I'm not a pill taker anyway. So I'm like,
Right.
that should work well for me because I just put it on my arm and I ain't got to worry about it, right? I still got pregnant on that though, so it's not 100% we know. But yeah, I don't know. I didn't have any weird side effects that I know of, but I still don't know because, you know, I really just really don't know. My body could have just been perfect, and now it could, not be. I don't know, but yeah, I didn't stay on it long enough probably to even have anything. Francine said, I don't like it because of the side effects. Dislike it more because people are so uneducated about any medication that is consumed into the body. I like that. We're gonna clap it up for you, Francine. I, I, I exactly what she said. What Francine said. So many are uneducated about medication, but yet we'll just say, okay, what do we need to take? 5,000 pills a day. Okay, give it to me. I'm ready to take them. And we'll have our container with all of them on there, and I'm not saying stuff that's needed that you kind of can't get around your older age, different things like that. I get. But with birth control, to me, it doesn't seem like it's more good than bad. It does not outweigh in this case. It's actually causing more harm than it is causing good because again, women are having fibroids now. The fibroids are coming from this extra hormones. I gotta find this video. As she said, the patch is bad too. She knows two people who had blood clots in their lungs, but it didn't help that they were smokers though. Oh yeah.
Right.
Yeah. You really gotta stop smoking if you're gonna take though that type of that pill. Like that's a death sentence for real because those together already smoking is bad for you. And then, the birth control causes blood clots. So yeah, you gotta really I would stop. Well, I know they're probably not gonna stop, but go read this, Melita, real quick. I'm gonna try to look and see if I can find.
People never think the side effects will happen to them. We all truly have to pay better attention and stop taking medication without understanding potential consequences. This goes for vaccinations, steroids, all of them. We need to stop giving away our autonomy.
That's good.
Yeah,
That was Angelina.
Angelina. Yeah.
So what you think about that, Melita? You got it because
I
I
think
gotta.
that, yeah, I think that we need to do a lot more research. it's a lot of natural remedies to that we can
That's good. Natural
you know,
remedies.
yeah, it's a lot of natural remedies that we can look into. And I think we need to do the research. I think that we need to read the fine print, because it's like, I think I've been guilty of it too. Like, it's small letters, small words, it's
Me too.
big paragraphs and pages, but it's like it can literally just a few extra, even 30 minutes, however long it take you to read. The max is probably 30 minutes to an
Mhm.
hour. Let's just, I'm be facetious here. It can say not, add 5 or 10 more years to your life.
It
And
can.
when you think of it like that, it's kind of worth it.
Like, who's reading their medications? Sometimes I read a little bit, but like you said, when it's like paragraphs after paragraphs, I'm like, okay, whatever, just give it to me. I'll take it for right now because it's just too much.
I think it goes back to what she said about we don't think the consequences will happen to us,
Hmm.
and I
Good.
think that we look more towards the short-term effects because those are the ones that they list as the most, as
Mhm.
the most bold, and the rest of it, the long term is in the fine print.
Mm. That is good. That's exactly what we do.
And so that's what I think it is. So I think that's definitely a clap up.
Okay, let me clap for that. Thank you, girl. We be needing that. I'm trying to. Who got an Amazon Prime account and know their information? No. Listen, I
Right.
got one. They keep taking me. Oh, you know what? I use my son information for that. Now, y'all, I don't be using my son information for lights and gas, okay? But,
Right.
but I had, how you already got an account, and they you only get one account, and I don't know what happens to that account, so I couldn't use that number over again, and I end up using my son number. That's why I couldn't get in. Okay, what's my son number? Hold on, y'all. Don't leave me. We
You
about
didn't
to.
even get you got the
I'm trying to.
membership through him.
Yeah, I got it under his number. What is the password? I don't know. Cause I'm trying to show them. I want to show y'all that. Well, you saw it already, but let me just say forgot. Let me see if I. Well, y'all, let's go to.
Go change his whole password.
It's my password,
Oh,
but
okay.
yeah. Okay, here you go. Angelina said they get incentives for honorariums. Is that what that is? What is that?
Yeah, that's what it
Expound.
looks like.
Honorariums. They get
Hmm.
incentives. She's saying the doctors get incentives for pushing this.
They get
Francine said,
incentives.
okay. Francine said a benefit of taking birth control is to regulate your cycle as well. I don't know. What you think, Melina? I'm let me.
I was trying to think about what that video said about that. And I can't remember if they basically just said the kind of birth control does make a difference. So, just kind of, the non-hormonal, the hormonal birth control is just worse. So just being
It's
mindful
worse.
of that.
So what's the non-hormonal? That probably don't even do nothing because the hormones is what's
What
doing
makes it
everything.
regulate, yeah.
Yeah, girl. But how
They
you
said
gonna
that
take one?
it was better remedies than the ones that they had. So, but what Yas and the new ring, those are I can
Those are
I will
horrible, y'all.
confidently just say if you could find another brand.
Yeah,
And of course, I don't want you to, take birth control, but those are dangerous. They're even
very
more
dangerous.
uh dangerous and life threatening.
Yeah, they've had so many lawsuits for Yas and Nova Ring or something. Um I had wrote down from the movie, it said Nova Ring users have 56% increased risk of blood clots when compared to like the older generations of birth control that was out here. And then Yas has 71% increased risk. So that's big. That's saying death right there. And especially if you're smoking with those type of numbers, you know what I'm saying? That's like a death threat. I like
It
to
really
me,
is.
yeah, no hormonal imbalance could ever cause me, especially if I know this information. Now, when you're young, most of the time you don't know this, right? I didn't know it. But you have to do some research, especially as you're getting older, because if what you do while you're young is going to affect you as you get older. It also said Merck paid, that's the drug company. They paid 100 million on lawsuits, 100 million. And that's not even including some of the people who said, no, you know what? I lost my child behind this. I don't even want your money. Your money's no good with me.
Yeah, and then the FDA, they're approving things based on income, so based on the amount of money going into the lawsuit when, if it's some fallout. So basically you kind of your buy-in to the FDA is covering potential lawsuit fees. I mean, that's basically what they said. And then another thing they said in the video is that birth control was never meant to be for long-term use, and they're using it for 10, 15, 10 years, and it was never supposed to be used that long. So they don't even have enough research.
Years.
Huh?
About 20, 25 years.
Right.
People are using
birth
control.
Don't even know who they are without it.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. It's like, okay, I get up, I brush my teeth, I, get in the shower, whatever, and I take my birth control pill. It's almost like a meal or like breakfast or something, because that's how it has to be if you're going to really take it, Hey, Tamara. Tamara said there would also be a trust factor of knowing if the man is taking the birth control properly. They can barely take a vitamin properly. Lord, why you just going to men like that?
Right. She said she wouldn't trust a man on birth control anyway.
No, but listen. Now, you know how you prepare, like, yeah, she right about that, because, like, I got to give my husband, I'd be like, if I give him his vitamins, or if he has to take them, I give them to him. So she right about that. So that's what you got to do. Like, here you go, hubby. Here you go, your vitamins and your birth control. No, just like you. No, no, right. I don't think anybody should take them. No. Yeah, men are probably I know men gonna be having worse symptoms too, Angelina said, and I found out recently that the week you bleed isn't even a real period. Yes. It's a break bleed, but not even a period because you never ovulate. That's terrifying. That it is. Yeah, because you don't ovulate yet. That's what I'm saying. So where do y'all think? I always used to think that, though, like, if I'm not bleeding or if suppressing, where's it going? Because it's naturally supposed to be coming out. That I always used to think like that. Like, honestly, I don't know. I used to talk, I don't know, Rita, I don't know if she on, and I used to always tell her, like, that just don't make sense to me. You know what I'm saying? Like, let's see. Oh, that was Francine said, I had a bad experience with birth control. Definitely because of not knowing about the medication. Dang, I'm sorry to hear that. You want to expound on it? I kind of want to be nosy, but no. But maybe somebody would be like, okay, I ain't gonna take it because of that. But that's I'm sorry to hear that, Francine. Like, you're a statistic, because so many women are having bad issues from this. So many women are dying from this. Like, but you're not going to hear this in the news, because if you do, then women won't take it. And now
they actually put it in the news that once, maybe, I don't know when that's happened.
One time it was in the news. Out of the 11,000 million times that people got,
at this point.
Yeah, because they'll probably show it, but because it was right there, right? But again, people still taking it. So again, it has to be something that's everywhere for people to really catch on and say, okay, I'm not doing it anymore. Angelina said, I read it and I argue with the doctor I'm my own advocate, and I consider who take cares of my babies if I'm gone. Exactly. That's what we have to look at, because if we leave this earth because of birth control pills, is it worth your life, really, for one? But if that does happen, then who will take care of your children? Who will advocate for them? Angelina said the non-hormonal is bad too. The IUDs perforate your uterus. I don't like all these science words. Penelope says, so is birth control the problem or the misuse? Okay, so I would say both. What would you say, Melita?
I would say that, both. It's a problem, not just because, it's a problem because you take it. It's a problem because the pill is a problem, because the things that they're using to as birth control is a problem. for us, as women, so that is more so it's unhealthy, it's unsafe, more than, not just really like it's a problem. Because I think we were talking about those natural ways of doing it,
Yeah.
after, of course, you're married, and then you want to do the natural remedy of it. I don't see the
You
problem
do
with
the
that.
rhythm charts, right.
Right.
So it's I say it's a both because, right, the misuse because we have people who are on it for 20, 30 years. And just imagine how many probably side effects they have, right? Because that's definitely misuse, right? I mean, some people may use it just for something real small, like acne, or maybe control something, but it's a problem because it's suppressing your hormones, your natural God giving hormones that you need to operate your body correctly is now being suppressed. And it's now every issue that the hormones solve for you, like, helping you with your moods and helping you with your bone structure. Now the opposite effect happens to you because of the suppression of your hormones. So I would say it's definitely bad, and it's definitely not good for you to take it, because also that brings us to the fibroids. How many women it's probably like 1 in 3 women that have fibroids, especially Black women. Like, if I asked you, did you know a woman that had it? You'll probably know 1 or 2. Everybody on here knows at least 1, maybe 2, probably more than that. Women, even in your family, that has fibroids or had fibroids. And it's a cause of birth control because, again, it's the hormonal balance that's off. But let me show this video real quick, and we'll go to some more your questions. I found it. Okay, y'all, 1 second. So this is the movie I'm talking about. Please, if you have it, if you have Amazon Prime, you can't watch it for free, but there's a free trial that you can sign up. It's called Gaia or something like that. You can go on there and actually watch it, and then just cancel your free trial unless you want to keep it, right? Um, but she's gonna talk about the fibroids. Okay, it was on the Breakfast Club. So
And did you see how they said cis women instead of just
yeah, I didn't like that either. Okay, before we go into this. Um, because in the beginning I read it, and it was like, yes, cis women, this is no way. They were trying not to offend, of course, transgender women. In the beginning, I was like, they wrong for that, but we know that they have to bend to, because again, they already
right?
don't want to get banned, so they're bending to society's rules.
Exactly. Yeah, I got it, but it was just
world.
I didn't
Oh,
even.
go ahead. You
I
said
know.
what?
I just didn't even. I didn't know anything about cis women until you mentioned that. Like
Oh,
I didn't even
last
know that
week.
was a thing. So then that's like the second
Yes.
time in major media that I
It's a
heard us
big thing,
actually
sis.
being
You
called.
probably don't. It's a big thing. That's why I was trying to explain to you. It's really a big thing. It's a real big thing. Calling women cisgender, cis women now. That's like a popular thing that they're doing. That's why when we talked about it last week, I wanted to address it. You know, everybody know, you have heard about it. If you haven't, then you probably just don't watch a lot of TV or different things. But I don't either. But yeah. But I'm gonna play this video. This woman is on the Breakfast Club, and she's telling you about the pill.
You're watching The Breakfast Club.
Morning, everybody. We got some special guests in the building.
Dr. Amun, Dr. Amsu, and Coach Jesse. Thank you very much.
I heard Jesse's name right.
Thank you for joining us. It is National Sexual Health Awareness Month.
Okay.
And I see you guys have these Kill the Pill shirts on. So let's get into
What kind of pill y'all trying to kill? What kind of pill we killing?
Yes. Well, first of all, we champion women's causes. We've championed fibroids. We've championed PCOS, which is polycystic ovarian syndrome. We've championed endometriosis and infertility. The number one culprit of actually all of these issues, the elephant in the room, is the birth control pill.
Really?
People are being told that the pill is like the greatest invention of all time, but it's making our women sick. That's why we're saying kill the pill before it kills you.
I am one of the 90% of Black women affected by uterine fibroids by age 50.
She said 90% by age 50.
My grueling journey included 12 surgeries, 5 of them for fibroids, and 5 for complications from those fibroids. And even my heart stopping on the delivery table. But thank God when I birthed my miracle baby, Nia, she birthed me into my purpose and work as a fibroids activist. So many women we talk with on a daily basis will say, oh, wait a minute. Yeah, I just have a heavy cycle, or I just have a heavy period, and not realizing that they are actually exhibiting symptoms of what is the root cause of fibroids, which is estrogen dominance. It's triggered by stress, diet, and pollutants. Well, those chemical pollutants, the number one culprit was birth control, hormonal birth controls, OMG.
11.5 million. I don't know if you know this number, Angela, but 11.5 million of us women and girls are actually on the pill, but 35% of the women who are prescribed it for non-contraceptive PMS reasons. They're being told, you need this. This is the only way you're going to be able to actually restore your, have a normal life.
Over time, what happens with it is that it masks your symptoms. And then once you get off the birth control, what happens? We find out, holy cow, there have been monsters developing in the background. I'm talking to these women daily about birth control, causing fibroids, causing infertility, causing pulmonary embolism, blood clots where women have lost their lives. And we have to look at when something is so prevalent and so inextricably tied into women's lives, why are we sicker as women?
Did you go on the birth control pill for something other than controlling pregnancy?
Oh, this is good.
Regulate my period too.
I was having a lot of issues with getting it, not getting it.
When I was in high school, it was recommended for my skin.
Do you remember why you went on the birth control pill in the first place?
For PCOS, polycystic syndrome.
Too often, I see women put on birth control pills, not for contraception, but to deal with breakthrough bleeding or so forth, where the doctor never bothers to test them first and see why it's happening. There's just this knee-jerk shoot from the hip, boom, take the birth control pill.
Birth control is incredibly useful. The problem is that it's so useful, it's being used as a treatment for a hell of a lot of things that aren't. Keep that baby out of me.
So many women go on the pill for something like endometriosis, for instance, because that is the only solution that's really offered now by doctors. And unfortunately, I mean, it's just a Band-Aid.
You know, it suppresses their pain a little bit. But I mean, unfortunately, I do find when a lot of them get off of it, the pain is right back.
1 in 10 women suffer from endometriosis, and it's just one of the many painful, debilitating lady diseases that gets treated with birth control and a shrug. There's also dysmenorrhea, irregular or excessive bleeding, and polycystic ovary syndrome. PCOS afflicts 1 in 10 women with symptoms like weight gain, hair growth, fertility problems, and diabetes.
After 3 years, this fertility specialist on the Upper West Side goes,
Okay, look, we're gonna be watching the whole movie in a second. But you get the drift. Y'all get the gist of what was being said there. I played the rest of that because I want y'all to hear how frequent it's offered for anything. You got acne? Okay. You bleeding a little bit too much? Okay, take it. Anything, they're offering a birth control pill, and that shouldn't be the case. And did y'all hear what she said about fibroids? You know, like the fibroids pretty much 90%, which I know if y'all know somebody who got them, just, say, I know somebody. And all they do is do surgery. They still tell them to get back on birth control. So it doesn't, and that stops you from having children because those things, I guess, they grow so big that they prevent, from having a baby. From what I've heard, I've never had them, thank God. But I've never really been on birth control for a long period of time. So no. Let's see here. I'm gonna go back to the comments here. Francine said if I could come up, I would share. Okay, Francine, if you want to come up, I can send you a link. Just let me know. And if you can come and tell your story, we would love to hear it. Penelope said people will still take it because the perceived benefits outnumber the risks. Exactly. And you're right, the perceived. So they make it seem like these benefits are outnumbering, but a lot of times when the women are of age now, they have all these issues, even with menopause. It affects how you take menopause. And then now women that want children after having, of course, being on birth control for years can't have babies, which we know that to be true. if somebody's been on it for years, you're automatically almost like infertile until your body gets back to normal. Linda says some side effects you will never know, and most people will find an excuse for whatever they want to do, right? It opens the door for people to have sex without being married more than ever. We're going to clap it up for Mama
Yeah.
J because it's true, though. And it, of course, takes us into our biblical perspective. The main thing it did was cause women to have sex out of marriage, or I'm sorry, have babies out of wedlock, pretty much, because you got the pill, so I don't have to be married. Most women would get married because they know, you know what I'm saying, I could get pregnant, I'm gonna have a baby, I got to get married, right? But if you give me a pill where now I can I won't get pregnant. So nobody knows that I'm having sex. It's a
Right.
secret now, right? It can stay hidden. But you know what I'm saying? Because the product of having sex is a baby. That's the product that we know you're doing something, right? Unless you go to the doctor and just get checked. But so that's what it caused a lot of unwanted pregnancies, which is now leading to abortions because you don't want the pregnancy, because you don't, you just want to have fun, when we got to realize that sex was created for pleasure, but in a certain bound, because God already knew that if you was just able to just freely have babies here and get, sleep with this person, that person, that person, you know what I'm saying? He already knew what would happen, the consequences, which would
Exactly.
be, the abortions and just having a lot of unwed mothers and, absentee fathers and things like that, which is the reason why we have this. Y'all don't be understanding, the government be setting us up. Um, did you see? Oh, I wish I could find it in the video, but they said 80s and 90s that black women in the inner cities were told to get on birth control or the government assistance would be taken.
Yeah, I did see that, and I was aware of them saying that, when it came to
I never knew that they
yeah,
did that.
I didn't know that either, honestly. I've never heard that before. So that's what I was basically getting to.
So,
Like, I heard
well,
that
but it
about
makes
something
sense
else.
though. It
Pardon?
makes sense. It makes sense now that, because I don't see us as black people, we're more like, no, I ain't taking that. We more like, I don't know, especially our grandparents and, great grands, they had 12, 13, 14 kids. So we know they wasn't really taking no birth control, right?
And
And so how did they get us on birth control? That they would cut your food assistance, your welfare, your SNAP or whatever, you know what I'm saying, if you didn't take it. So people were just like, well, forget it. Okay. Because they just made it like, you keep having kids, we got to keep taking care of them, probably.
yeah, back then a while ago it used to be you have to have over a certain amount of children to even qualify for to even get like your tubes tied or anything like that. Now you can have one
Right.
and say, "Hey, yeah, I want to get it done." But at first, you used to have to have 3 or 4 children before that it was even an option for you before and so when it comes to the government choice, that was probably families or
Poor
women
families.
with more with more children already. So it's like, to keep getting it, you already at 7. If you want to keep getting
Hey,
aid, then you need to take birth control, and which is probably why somebody like me haven't heard that
no,
or I
well,
haven't heard it said to anybody in my
right. I haven't either. I mean, we were just, I know I was born in the 80s, so I wouldn't probably know. But I would say that I think that it was not just after they had so many kids. I just think it was a ploy. It was a way to get it in there, because that's how they do things. You know what I'm saying? Just like they did with assistants and or Section 8 kicking a man out the house. It's always a reason why they're doing something. Penelope said, I wonder how many of them have been on birth control since high school.
Mm.
I'm pretty sure a majority of all of these people have been on there since high school, because that's when you start, right? Usually around 16, your parents are like, okay, it's time for the talk. Or now it's probably like 11, because these kids are just, yeah. But that's usually when your parents have to talk and say, I know you're going to be doing it soon, and so I just want you to take this birth control to make sure you don't have a baby. And that's usually what happens. So I'm pretty sure most of the time they're taking them that long. And like after you have a kid, they push that on you. Like I know you've experienced this, Melita. I know when, after I had a kid, it's like the first thing they're asking, what type of birth control do you want? They not checking on you. They check on you, but it's like that's like one of the first questions they're asking, what type of birth control do you want?
Wow.
Like, yeah, no, it's serious. As soon as you have your baby, it's almost like, okay, you're good now. Okay,
Wow.
you want birth control? It's like, well, dang, can I think about it first?
They literally do want to give it to you for anything.
Yeah, they like because we don't want no more babies coming here. Angelina says, so you guys hear that, right? It used to be a choice for pregnancy prevention. Now it's being made into a necessity to keep people on it, and that makes the intention behind it very obvious. They want all women on it, so they're messing with our bodies in other ways. Sad. They are. But see, even though it was a pregnancy prevention, whenever they roll things out, it's always underlying issues. That's the beginning of it, right? They won't tell you down the road we're going to make sure it causes other issues. They won't tell you that. They'll just say, okay, it's for pregnancy prevention, but then they keep adding things to it, and now it's worse and worse and worse, right? And so yeah, now it's becoming a necessity, not even necessity. Well, yeah, that's the only thing they have for the endo disease, endometriosis. That's the only thing they have for it, and it doesn't even really work for that. It's the only thing they have for a lot of things that doesn't work. So, I think it was just a ploy to get it out there, get the birth control out there to say, hey, this is a solution to your problem, but it's really not a solution. But they knew all along they were going to be pushing more on you. I'm sorry, no, Whitney. Whitney said, I've never been on birth control pills, nor do I take them now. I have fibroids. And the first thing my gynecologist recommended for me to take was birth control pills. Wow, she kept pushing them on me. Wow. So and I know fibroids, they did say they come from birth. But we have so many other hormonal things in our foods and in what we intake that they can come from other factors. But now here is a lady who doesn't even have them, and they're like, okay, take birth control pills for fibroids. Wow.
Right. So it causes it, and they also make it the solution
The
for it.
solution. Oh, wow. How ironic that it's the cause and also your solution. It's the it's the
See,
problem in the solution.
the video, it said like, well, we know for the love of money is the root of all evil. They
Yes.
want that money. It's that the greed. That's what they really want. Remember, the video was saying like the FDA and those meetings, they actually it's to discuss the issues and the side effects and stuff, but not so that they can fix them. It's so
Right.
that they can minimize them, so that they can find a way to make it not sound so bad, or to lighten it up, or don't mention that part, or leave that part out, or this is too obvious to leave out. We have to put that there. This is a little bit more minor and could be for something else. Let's leave that out. Things like
Right.
that. So that's what the meeting is about. It has nothing to do with actually making sure that you're healthy.
You're healthy. And not at all. They don't care if you're healthy, okay? They don't care.
No.
Let's see. I'm trying to see what else. It was another video I had, but what was it? We did this one already.
I think I saw some.
You saw?
I think I saw Francine.
Oh, Francine, she wanted a link. Oh, yeah. Let me send you the link real quick, Francine. She's gonna come on and share her story, which should be interesting. Oh, because if you got anybody has a story they want to talk about, just let us know. I'm gonna send you a link, Francine, to your messenger, and you just have to click on it. Make sure you don't have a lot of noise and stuff in the background. Let's see. Okay, I sent it to you, Francine, on your messenger. So when you have it, you'll pop up in the background. Let's go to some more comments here. Okay, Penelope said birth control is a multifactorial. It does help with dysmenorrhea, dysmenorrhea and endometriosis. And they said it did help. They said it helped slightly with those two. But see, the thing is it a help? Is it, is a better help? Is the help it's giving you more than the harm it's causing you? That's what you have to outweigh the benefits, the good versus the bad. And I just think that because of all these side effects, that small portion, I don't think that, that's good enough for me personally to be like, I would just go ahead and get on him. Because no, like maybe natural diet. What about a natural diet or something? And then what about researching what is in the birth control pills that's actually helping you
Right.
to, what I'm saying? And then use that part, the portion that is helping, maybe try to take only that portion versus all the
Right.
bad things,
It's just
Um,
about research and
exactly. Go ahead, Melina. I'm listening.
oh yeah, no, I was just saying it's just about doing research and doing your due diligence and just being more and being aware. If you feeling weird, if you feeling something in your body, if you're not feeling well, or you're feeling abnormal and you wondering what it is because you're not taking anything, and just these different things, then it's just something to consider. Personally, I was asking, I was like, of course, when we do these topics, it's always about the heart of a matter. And we always just acknowledge God. We always want to know his plan and everything. And so I just was asking him, and I was just, it just came to me like, it's like, well, and it's not about being afraid, but somebody is gonna be warned today. Somebody's gonna be made aware today. His desire is to save a life, to change a life. You could be suffering from depression and wondering why. You could think that you're
Yeah,
stressed and just can't
exactly.
handle it. You wondering why you burn out, things like that. He could be dealing with you to let it go, and to stop. And so if that's you and you watching it, then just listen to him, because this is confirmation that he's talking to you and he wants you to stop.
I clap it up for my very lovely co-host. That is so good because, like you said, we didn't even mention it. It caught the mental health. It causes. We did mention the mental health, but it causes anxiety and it causes depression.
Yeah.
It causes all of those things, which a lot of people have. And you may be wondering why you're having this type of, mood swings and anxiety and all this. I'm depressed. I'm just feeling overwhelmed. And it may not even be you or just something you're going through. It's the actual pill that you're on. So this is an educational warning, to make this point to you guys to let it go. You don't need it. Change your diet. Let's see here. Penelope said it's no different than people taking Ozempic for weight loss versus diabetes. I don't know what that is for weight loss. So that's a weight loss pill versus diabetes. Um, well, I guess it is, right? Because with diabetes, well, you have the two forms. One, you actually don't have the insulin producing any longer, right? So therefore, if you don't have insulin producing, you would need to take the pill or something, right? But honestly, I've heard people who've gotten off all of it with diet change, prayer or whatever. I've heard people who've gotten off of it, just changing their diet, not eating certain things. Because a lot of the stuff is from the hormones that we're eating, and they're most of the time in the meats, in the foods too, that we're eating that's unhealthy. So I think that, especially like again, birth control pill is something that is not a necessity because I mean, you don't have to have a baby if you don't want to, right? Because you just don't have to have sex, right? Especially if you're not married. And then if you are married, you can do your charting. So your body can only get pregnant at a certain time, right? So it's really not a necessity like, oh, we have to have it. It's more of a harm than it is a good, But I get what you're saying as far as like, people have a choice. You have a choice to do whatever you like with your body. We're
Yes.
just here, just give you some facts and try to present these things to you so that way you understand, the other side of it, because most doctors are not going to tell you this. They're not going to tell you the side effects and the harm that it causes.
Yeah,
So go ahead. I'm sorry. Go ahead,
I
Melina.
know that's what I was saying too. Like it's not coming from a place of judgment or any or condemnation or anything,
Condemnation,
but
right.
more so love, and like I said, if it applies, then conviction, and it, because we care about you, we care about your life,
Right.
we
We
want you to
do.
live, and we want you to be informed about what's going on.
We want you to live a full life. We don't want you to live in now you have all these problems and issues down the road as a woman that's going into menopause because, you've been taking birth control all these years. Let me I see Francine in the back. We're going to bring her on in just a moment. Ashley said they say birth control helps with PCOS. So does metformin, which is for people with diabetes. So it just sounds like one big hormonal orgy. Shaking my head. She said, because it
That was
causes
funny.
both. Yeah, it was. Because it causes both in women. Not to mention, like I said last week, birth control places extra tissue into your tube, eventually blocking anything to enter or exit. No wonder fibroids and cysts are found in women later. Perfectly said. Perfectly said. Like it's just like she said, it's just a big like hormones everywhere. We need hormones, but now we suppressing it. Now, you know what I'm saying? It's weird. It's weird. Like, it's
Control.
yeah. As she said, also said, I have PCOS. Okay. She said, and she had a hard time conceiving, but so did my doctor. She told me what to do. I went on a vegetarian diet and to hormones, and that's when I got many. I've been pregnant since then without taking any hormones. Just stop eating crappy foods and eat pure fruits and vegetables. I just said that, y'all. And that's what I'm saying. It's like, I think we become complacent, right? And I know myself, I do it too, right? I'd be like, whatever. I just go take the medicine instead of, doing right, knowing I shouldn't have
Quick.
been,
Quick
doing stuff to
fix.
get a headache. Right. Cause I know, okay, well, I had to fix it real quick. Instead of taking the long route to eat right, to be healthy, to exercise, to diet. And then you have some people who do that and still have an issue, right? So I understand that as well. But like Ashley said, let's change our diet, y'all. Let's try to eat better, and then avoid all this crappy food, like she said. Angelina said, I'm gonna take this one and then we're gonna go to Francine. Well, if I'm not frozen, but I am frozen. Oh, internet, don't fail me now.
That's the hard part. If you had to try to live life passing out and bleeding out of your pants, you would take the quick remedy. There's no simple solution. We can't trust our doctors, so we have to pray and educate ourselves.
That's good. We have to pray and educate ourselves. That's good. Like for real. We do, y'all. Pray and let God lead you if he wants you to take that medicine. If he wants to say, okay, I want you to take it. If not, then you consult him in all things because sometimes maybe he wants you to take it. Now, I wouldn't say maybe he wants you to take it, but just some things he may allow you to take and then come off of it, things like that. But hold on, y'all. Okay, I'm coming back in. All right, there we go. All right, so Angelina said that's the hard part. If you had to try to live life passing out and I'm sorry. That's what you read.
Yes.
It wasn't coming up for me because you see my screen is blank. Why am I blank? I don't know. I don't know. But I'm here, but I'm not showing. Let me see.
But I see you. We
You
see
see me?
you, but you're frozen.
Oh, it's just showing. Hold on, y'all. Don't go nowhere. I'm gonna try to reload real quick.
Nice.
Okay, there I go. There I go.
You back.
Oh, don't jump. Move.
Don't
No.
stop.
I'll just play y'all. Be having my ratchet moments. Okay. All right. Let me bring Francine. Francine, you on? You ready to put your face in the space? I don't see her. Come on, Francine. I'm about to add you. You ready?
Can you hear me?
I can hear you. I can't
Yes.
see you, ma'am. Okay, there we go. Hey, girl.
Hey,
Hey.
Francine.
You at work? Okay.
I
Okay.
am.
Okay.
I was thinking a little bit, but yeah, I am at work.
Okay. All right. Go ahead. I know we got to whisper real quick, but go ahead and tell us about your experience with the birth control that
Um,
changed your mind.
I gotta talk about the birth control. I'm gonna talk about the metformin because I did
Oh,
with the metformin too.
wow.
I'm actually kind of currently still on it, but
Okay.
in the beginning, I would say it would have to be like my preteen. The only reason I was even told to take birth control pill was to in regulate my period. I didn't want to take it because they was naming a sound effect, and the one that caught my attention was the blood clot, and I didn't want to take it because of that. Like, why would I want to take medicine that's gonna make me blood clot? Like,
Right.
and then I didn't. Well, funny, funny joke of the matter is I wasn't taking it because it was in the hands of the wrong person that it wasn't even supposed to be, which was my dad. That's how he found out. He didn't even know. Like that's how he found
Right.
out there was a possibility of um any kind of sexual activity going on because we
Right.
our medicine was both on the same prescription.
Wow.
Passing forward, I was never given a chance to take it. So a little get older, I was like, well, the doctor would never tell me to take it if I wasn't supposed to take it. So
Mm.
I took them. Now, here's the uneducated part that I was mentioning. I took every last pill on time every day, even those little color pills at the bottom.
Mhm.
And here's the not knowing. I didn't go to month two. So I was left off with the inactive pill because that's what they was, waiting for me to take the next pill so it can continue to do what it do. So because I did that, I experienced the heavy bleeding, the nonstop bleeding. And when I
Wow.
say nonstop bleeding, I probably was bleeding for, and I'm not over exaggerating, um, maybe that whole year.
Jesus.
I
What?
experienced
My
I
God.
experienced bleeding that whole year. I experienced like a whole year off because my irregular was only like on, 3 off, and then on again. So I never wanted to go back to the birth control pill, but I ended up getting to the hands of birth control again. And the first pill I took, I started fading. Can't make it up.
You start
Wow.
what?
Fading.
Mm.
Yeah, I stopped bleeding off the pill. And then now, because now I'm at the stage where I can't get pregnant. I don't think I can have kids. So I was like, if I turn 30 and no kids, I know I can't have kids. So here we go. I'm diagnosed now with diabetes. Get on diabetes, they give me metformin. Now, this me now, I'm on the search. If I'm gonna take medicine, I'm gonna do a little research. Do the research. I hear that if people who've been taking them has been blessed to have their children somehow because it help with fertility. I said, look, we got to be careful because I think this pill like makes me real fertile. It, I have 3 kids now,
Mhm.
but I would say that first one I think it had to help with metformin.
Mm.
So
So
yeah,
metformin helped you?
I can't say per se, but I think it has something to do with it.
Oh,
And you
okay.
got to think about it because being overweight and not being healthy will stop you
Mm.
from getting pregnant. So
Yeah.
metformin kind of helped me to lose weight, and when I got to that mark,
Oh, got it.
yeah, of losing weight, it was like you losing weight kind of boosts
That
your
makes
chance
sense.
to get.
Yep.
And what else did I want to say? Yeah, I don't like none of it. I don't even like metformin. Nope, I don't. I don't like none of it. And I was on insulin, and I was like, I'd rather be on insulin than the metformin because I hate taking pills. And they try to put me back on it. Like I just gotta get my diet together. But yeah,
Right.
that's what I was gonna say. It's the uneducated and et cetera, et cetera, et cetera. I didn't like all that.
Right.
And
Not
I'm
being
so
ed
against it. I am so against it because back in the day, oh, we don't hear people say that they taking birth control to not have kids like it was back in the day. It's for
Right.
other reasons.
Mhm.
Mm-hmm.
Like, yeah, that wasn't even my reason to take birth control because I didn't want to have kids.
Mm.
So yeah.
Right.
That's crazy. That is crazy. Well, we thank you, Francine, for telling it like that. You just kinda
Yeah.
clarified the stuff we were talking about with the diet pill and, how wow, that's a lot, and I'm bleeding a year? I can only imagine how you
It
like
I did the whole year off and on. Like I would talk to them, and it was the whole blood clotting thing, and they were trying to make it seem. I'm like, oh my god, like this is ridiculous. I was so like over it. I was over bleeding. I was over not bleeding because I knew both ways was unhealthy.
Mm.
Like
Right.
not bleeding and bleeding.
And
Like
bleeding,
yeah,
You
exactly.
was just ready to get back to your natural body, letting your body do what it do.
I really, since I started having my menstrual, I really never really experienced a regular cycle till after my kids.
Mm.
Wow.
Yeah. So once I had them, then it was like every month. But
Clockwork.
before them, no,
Wow. That's
no.
good. Thank you, Francine. We appreciate
Absolutely no.
you.
All right,
Listen,
I'm about to
please
go
share
back
this
to
live.
work.
Okay. All right. Well, go ahead. Go ahead. Have a good day. We gonna talk. Oh my goodness. She like, I'm about to go back. She about to get in trouble. But y'all heard what she said. She didn't have her children. I mean, after she had her children, then she became regular. So that tells you having children, the natural, just having children is a benefit. We may think that it's not a benefit to it, but it's a benefit to having children. This is why God said, "Be fruitful and multiply." You're a woman. You're made to have children. Some women may not want them. I understand, but I think the more, not more, but when you have children, it helps your body not to have all the, these issues and diseases and things like that, or not diseases, but just issues, right? Because your body's working the way it should work. If you don't use it the way God created and it's just there and you don't use it, what do you think is going to happen? It's like a car that just sits, right? You don't drive it or anything. So it's just sitting and it's rusting and it's becoming no good. It's the same thing when you have all the tools and just be like, I'm not going to use them at all. That's what they're
Mm.
for. And, but yeah, that was good. That was good. I thank Francine for coming on, because I'm telling you, I
Wow.
don't think this stuff real. And again, this is recent. Bleeding a whole year on and a whole year on, no bleeding for a year. Not, I can imagine how much she spent on pads. Look, I'm thinking about the cost too.
Yeah.
A whole year bleeding.
I'm sure it was stress,
Yes, every month. Hold on, no, she
That's
said a whole
stress.
year.
That is stress.
So
That's
just know
stress.
that's stress like it ain't nothing. Okay. And they just say, keep taking more birth control pills. It's making you bleed out more, bleeding out more, bleeding out more. What is going on? Wow, y'all, that's crazy. I
365 days.
Yes, it's crazy. I don't know. Yeah, I don't know. I just feel like we need to get back to the old, you know what I'm saying? Go back to where we were, where God had us at in the beginning, which was them women was competing to have them babies back then. Rachel and Leah was trying to have Jacob's baby, and the mandrakes, remember she went and got the mandrake. She was like, let me have your mandrake. I think that was some form of fertility. I don't know, but they were competing to have babies. It was so bad in the Bible. If we, like, now men die without having kids, right? And I thought this is a good story in biblically speaking. Men die without having kids nowadays. But back in Israel, have you ever read the story of Onan, who got killed because he pulled out?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. So
Yes.
it's crazy that, what I'm saying, back in the day, I mean, your Bible days, kids were a absolute blessing. The man who had his quiver full with them was blessed. That means it's blessed. It's happy to be the person who has a bunch of kids, right?
Mm-hmm.
You know what I'm saying? So again, this is it's blessed by God. But then, even in the Bible days, if the husband or the man died without having a baby, his brother would need to have a baby with his wife. You remember that story? It was kind of weird to me. But again, that's how much God did not want a man's bloodline to be cut off.
Right.
It was that serious that the first child had to be born, that his brother had to be born. No, let me put it this way. So if it's like me and you men, right? You know what I'm saying? If somebody leave or no ain't on the earth, but they didn't have a kid yet, right? So now it's like, okay, well, I got to sleep with you now and become your husband and give you a kid because my brother died. And so because the brother died, now you become the husband. And so what Onan did, he was like, I'm just going to pull out. I ain't gonna, you know what I'm saying? Now I know we use that as a method,
Yeah.
but he was struck dead for doing it.
Yeah.
And
Because
it
he
was
spilled the
really
seed on the ground.
he spilled his seed. And it was just really because God wants us to have righteous seeds. The men need to have an inheritance. You know, they have to have kids and heir. So that was really the reason for it. But I just thought that was interesting in the Bible to just tell y'all about how, God didn't play, you know what I'm saying? They needed kids. They wanted kids. It was a blessing to have kids, especially boys. Oh, you were
Oh
blessed.
yeah.
Them women was worshipped if they had sons. Like, oh my God, blessed and highly favored. You got how many
Yeah.
sons? Oh yeah, I'm blessed. I got 3 sons. I'm blessed, y'all know. But no, honestly, they were like girls was like, okay. But them boys, because the boys carry the family on, the legacy and all that good stuff. But yeah. That's my spiel about that. I just thought about that.
Yeah. No, good
um
point.
Angelina said that's the hard part. If you had to try to live, I'm
We
sorry.
did.
I keep reading. Let me read it again because I keep reading it. If you had to live life passing out and bleeding out of your pants, you would take the quick remedy. There's no simple solution. We can't trust our doctors, so we have to pray and educate. But yeah, see, so that's what it's crazy that's exactly what Francine said she was doing, bleeding out of her pants. She was bleeding, for a whole year. So I know she was bleeding out her pants. Linda said, I know someone that had to take birth control pills in order to conceive. Wow, we all jacked up. No, I'm just saying, like, you got to take the hormone we all jacked up. Yeah.
We don't know what we want. The fact that that's the remedy to not have them, to not have what? Lord,
PCOS.
right? To have it, to have fibroids. If you don't have it, like just birth control. It's just
weird. Just too much. It's
the
just too
answer
much.
to everything. Nah.
Let me see something.
Wow, that was different though. That's definitely peculiar.
Hold on. I was looking at something. That's okay. We already over anyway. I was looking at the part where they were talking about you had to agree to have the birth control, the implant in you back in the day, or you didn't get assistance. That was in a movie. So y'all, again, I think I don't have anything else to say. I think this was a good scientific because it was a lot of science words up in his mug. I'm like, what is that? It was a lot of why do they make science words so hard for one? Why is it just simple? I mean, do y'all not want us to get it? I think that's what it is.
Right.
But I think this is a very good podcast, and we're hoping and praying that somebody sees this and says, you know what? I'm not taking this anymore. I'm gonna I'm just gonna diet and get my life, you know what I'm saying, and change your life around. I'm not saying, you're a bad person if you take it or whatever. We're not
Right.
judging you. We're not condemning you, like Melita said. We just want the best for you, and that's what God wants for you, the best for your life, to live a whole healthy life, not to have all these side effects down the road. Now you're getting old and your body's falling apart, and a lot of the stuff comes from birth control that you don't know. um Whitney, she said men have life in them, and for him to spill it and waste that sperm, that's a no-no in the eyesight of God. Okay, guys, did you
Life in
did you
them.
put life
No.
on the ground? No. Yes, they do. Men have seed running through them, which is life. And yeah, they're life givers. We're birth givers, and we work together. Hey, we need each other, y'all. We need each other.
Right. We need them.
I'm gonna tag the business of birth control. Please, y'all, go watch that and send it to your family members. Just get the word out. Just trying to help where we can. That's all we're trying to do. But that's all I have. That's Melita. If that's all you have, is that all you have?
Yeah, that's all I have.
Yeah, I think we said everything. Like, honestly, I think so men, if you're watching this, don't get mad at your woman if she's on birth control, because we now know it's making her crazy. We now know it's, causing all kinds of mental health and anxiety. So don't get mad at her. Just, love her, give her a hug and say you love her. So, but that's all we have. Until next time, until next week, we'll be back again with another episode. We greatly appreciate you guys for coming on. Please subscribe to the YouTube channel. because like I said, this Facebook Live will be going away. We'll only be on YouTube. So please subscribe. It's in the link in the bio of the page. And please share the live as well. If you found some of this information to be enlightening, something you didn't know, or you want somebody else to know, please share the live out so we can help as many people as possible. Just to enlighten them about this topic here. But as always, we love you guys. Stay well, stay prayed up, and stay wise. Y'all remember I used to say that, stay wise? I might
Yeah.
start bringing that back. Stay wise, guys. All right, until next time. Peace.